Here the words Tirti Kritashesha Kriyartaha are significant. Tirtha means sanctified place where charity is given. People used to go to place of pilgrimage and give munificently in charity. This system is still current. Therefore the Lord said, in order to sanctify your activities and results of your actions, you will offer everything unto me. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you sacrifice, the result should be given to me only. In another place in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said, I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices, all penances, and everything done for the welfare of mankind or society. All activities, therefore, whether for the welfare of the family, society, country, or humanity at large, must be performed in Krishna consciousness. That is the instruction given by Lord to Kardama Muni. Maharaj Yudhishthira welcomed Narada Muni. Wherever you are present, that place becomes sanctified because the Lord Himself is always seated in your heart. Similarly, if we act in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the Lord and His representatives, then everything is sanctified. This is the indication given to Kardama Muni, who acted on it and therefore received the most excellent wife and child, as will be disclosed in later verses. So, the Lord foresaw the future, that Kardama Muni will have 9 daughters, and further those daughters will, through the sages, will beget children, population in this world. And then, after giving him that good news about his good future, the Lord says, with your heart cleansed by properly carrying out my command, resigning to me the fruits of all your acts, you will finally attain to me. So the central message is always the same, that one should take every living entity is only a tiny part of God. His ability to comprehend this world is also small. His ability to comprehend what's going on in a city is beyond him. Even though we try to read newspaper and find out what is going on in the city. But it is not possible for a living entity to comprehend even a small system, because his knowledge capacity is very tiny. He has all the capacities of God, but his every capacity is only in tiny quantity. The Lord, being the omniscient, He knows everything. He is unlimited in all His qualities, in His qualities of Satta, Chitta and Ananda. So if we are situated as a servant of this Lord, who is seated in our heart, Lord is seated in everybody's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha. And one is conscious of that, then his life's philosophy is the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that while you control your mind and body according to regulative principles, you learn first of all how not to be the controller of material energy. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate mayadekshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam yetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. So Krishna very clearly says this world is run by me. It is under my superintendence. I am the Param Ishvara. What are you struggling in this material world independently for? Even that I am the one who is providing those things. He being the Parameshwara, the way to work, man cannot keep quiet without working even for a moment. Either his mind is active, body is active, continuously he has to be active. So what is the philosophy of work? Here it is said, with your heart cleansed by properly carrying out my command. One always has to carry out the command of the Lord. If one is doing something, any service, one should think that it is under the command of the Lord. One should have faith that this is under the command of the Lord. Mystically, that is how it happens. That is how this movement is running. Everybody is carrying out the command of the Lord. Command of the Acharya. Very mystically translated into daily life for the devotee. So the path of devotion service that the devotee rendering is not, something which a rational mind can comprehend. It is something that internally the devotee is executing it as a command of the Lord. And the Lord is fully involved in it. The devotee is working in the spirit of surrender to the Lord. What is that you want me to do, my Lord? I need your guidance. I want to serve you. But only by your guidance I can serve you. Only by your guidance I can please you. And that is where the spiritual master comes into picture. The spiritual master is the external manifestation of the Lord. He guides the devotee. How to do service, what to do service, when to do service. Devotees have no big plans, long-term plans, controlling plans, control the material energy. They follow the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, execute your duty. Leave the fruits to the Lord. How those activities that you do in the form of duty are to be connected together to produce some result for Krishna consciousness, for Krishna preaching result, that is left to the Lord. No doubt, as the horizon, as you look at the horizon, as you go on, sometimes you may see very positive indication, here this temple is coming up, and there's hope that it will come up, all these things we may have. But one has to understand that it's all the individual devotees who are doing services in this temple, or any temple, in any community, Vaishnava community, they are all connected by the Lord. The Lord is the one who connects them all, knits them all. He nicely knits them all and creates the external preaching result that we see. That is the reason why any devotee who thinks that I am the doer of anything is a fool. One can say, I did my duty, because that you have a right to. Krishna says, you have a right to do your duty. Be conscientious and do your duty. I have to do this. My duty in executing my sadhana, my duty in executing the preaching activities. The very fundamental thing that one has to develop first, the concept of duty. Only by which one can take out this sense of controllership. Sense of controllership has to be purified. When the devotees lose the sense of controllership, then the Lord makes them control more. Because the sense of controllership is sense of lording over. That is our original material disease for which we are here. Whereas a devotee flows with the consciousness, Krishna consciousness. His service flows with the consciousness. He prays to Krishna under the command of the Lord. Lord is not limited. Lord is all pervading. Lord is there to manifest His command to the devotees, through other devotees, through Guru, through other devotees, sometimes through karmis also. The command comes, and you take up that command. You know, you feel that it is command of the Lord. And then you take it up. Do your part, do your duty. On a day-to-day basis. Whatever little quanta of work that you do every day, that is all my business. I have a right to my activity, not to the fruit thereof. All those will add up and produce some fruit. That is not my business. This is the first teaching in the Bhagavad Gita. That's not my business. This adding up to and creating a result is not my business. It is Krishna's business. This is the first thing that we have to practice in the Bhagavad Gita. Because this automatically brings into our consciousness that you are not the controller of results. You simply carry out the order of the Lord, as a command of the Lord. The Lord will create the results. Even for karmis, it is the Lord who is creating the results. That is why Krishna says, Karta aham iti manyate. Foolish persons thinks, I am doing. So devotion service is something that we have to practice. It is a devotion service is an exercise of consciousness. No doubt externally it means action, Hirshikena, Hirshikesha, Sevanam. But the moment you say Sevanam means there is a consciousness. One has to engage in devotion service in the right consciousness, the right spirit. Bhavagrahi Janardana. The Lord is wanting our bhava, our devotion. Rest is all handled by Him. So giving up this sense of doership is a very important thing for one to advance in Krishna consciousness. And giving up the sense of doership is also very important for the Lord's mission, because Lord can engage the devotee in His mission only in degree to which the devotee is not getting into the doership mode and is in the servant mode. I am not the initiator of any activity. Krishna is the initiator of any activity. Master is the initiator of the activity. Servant is the one who carries out the order. Servant cannot say, I will enjoy the results. Servant, for one moment, he cannot say that I am creating the result. Because it is Master's work and Master's result. Enjoyer is the Master. Not that you are some small, little enjoyer of the result. That is also not true. The servant's result, let's say a servant is going and bringing some money from the bank belonging to the master. He is withdrawing some cash. He cannot think that, okay, I am only a servant. Mostly it belongs to master. Little is mine. Little cash is mine. That is also not servant consciousness. Servant consciousness means my salary is given by my master. In what terms he gives is a different matter. Not that just because, that is commission business. I go and take, for every activity I get a commission. We are servants of the Lord. The fruit of the work is belonging to the Lord. That's why the devotee has known that praying always that I may not have any other desire than your desire, my Lord. There is no sense of proprietorship over the result. Say you want to do something for Krishna, there is no sense of proprietorship over that result. Proprietorship means my result, I produce that result. So for that, this instruction is so wonderful. With your heart cleansed by properly carrying out my command, resigning to the fruits of your acts, resigning to me the fruits of all your acts, you will finally attain me. As long as we are lustily running after fruits, that I am the creator, I am the doer, even let's say minus I am the enjoyer, that is only partial bhakti yoga. You are giving the fruits to Krishna, but your commission you are getting for lording over. Sattvic Krishna consciousness executed in Sattvic platform is a mystical process. Prabhupada expanded this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world, not by some material magic. Prabhupada expanded it mystically by Krishna consciousness. Only by mystically by Krishna consciousness, Krishna's service can be done. So this master-servant consciousness is very important to cultivate. That is the reason we say in bhakti, in devotion service, when one is a neophyte, when he doesn't understand all these things, he should not be encouraged to go mad after I will achieve this, I will achieve that, I will do this for Prabhupada, I will do this for Prabhupada, I will do this. All these things, it's all just nothing but your tendency to lord over. No doubt it has a place, and when one is advanced, it has a place. Very specific stage of, very specific kind of advancement where one disassociates with sense of doership and identifies with servitorship. Then he can seek, my Lord, what do you want me to do? And then when that reveals, yes, I will do it. And you have determination. You carry it out. I will do it. You are offering, there also your result is in the hands of the Lord. You are never thinking that I am the controller. You are allowing me to do something, some service. So unless one, at a neophyte stage, one should not go crazy over it. Sometimes devotees don't understand. We hold the devotees, wait 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you wait, you do assistant pujari, do this, everything. Suddenly the person becomes so impatient, I want to preach, I want to preach, I want to preach. Because there's so much force inside of lording over. We are saying first develop basic dasatva, the principle of servitude you follow. This is your greatest asset. This will be the foundation for your spiritual life. When that servitude attitude is there, then wonderful things will happen through the hands of the devotee. Wonderful things will happen. But if one simply thinks only in terms of, producing result, measuring in those terms, of course, no doubt, now we are talking about a little higher level of serious Krishna consciousness we are talking. Suppose somebody is so much in illusion, he doesn't even go to work, doesn't go out preaching, nothing, then neither is Krishna conscious, neither is fruitive. Better to be fruitive than, be lazy. Just like Prabhupada today morning quote was saying, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said it is more honorable to be a sweeper than taking advantage of a dress of a Vaishnava, a sadhu dress. More honest. At least I work for my existence. This consciousness is very important. So there are different kinds of instruction to different levels of, devotee's attitude and everything. If devotee is no spirit at all to understand all these things and get into this mood of, servitude and working for Prabhupada and Krishna, and he misunderstands this philosophy, everything, let us say, I said in this class, and somebody says, you should not think of the result. You should just move, do something whole day. It's not. We are talking about a mystical process. Not as simple as you say, just, in Tamoguna move around and get pushed around by three modes of nature, and then you say that Krishna is pushing me around. It is a state of consciousness to understand that I am carrying out the command of the Lord. That one formula in life will settle everything. Day to day, I carry out the command of the Lord through my spiritual master. That's all the philosophy. No other philosophy of life will actually satisfy anybody's mind. Hundreds of questions will be there because a tiny mind cannot grasp. What am I to do with my life? That question can never be answered. What specifically I am supposed to do with my life? If you go on searching for that, you will never get the answer. What I am supposed to do with my life, my Lord will dictate. Day after day, I am a tiny fellow. I will do my service and try to improve my consciousness. Try to understand this finer spirit, difference between matter and spirit. How material body working is not my working. The three modes of material nature. And the master's work result will belong to the master. That's what. Resigning to me the fruits of all your acts. You will finally attain to me. So, the art of acting in devotional service is something that we need to hear all these things and come into proper consciousness. Externally we may act, you may see externally Prabhupada doing the same thing that somebody else is doing. But behind it the consciousness is something else. So what is Krishna consciousness? It is not about doing, external doing. It is about the consciousness with which you do. And only if we give up this lauding tendency, this fruitive mentality, can we actually start performing bhakti. For an outsider, it may look like some devotee is completely fruitive, he is after the results, he is determined, everything. That doesn't say that, that doesn't mean that the person is not in divine consciousness. In which attitude, in which way he is running after the results of Prabhupada and Krishna, that determines. So non-fruitive does not mean a person does not have a goal, does not have a determination, does not, seriously put his heart and soul in the job. That doesn't mean that if he puts all those things, doesn't mean he's fruitive. When it's fruit for me, gross or subtle, that is fruitive. When it's fruit for Krishna, that is not fruitive. So Prabhupada was always, running out fruits for Krishna, offering everything to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Jiva belongs to Krishna. Jiva's abilities belong to Krishna. Earth belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. It should go into Krishna's service. So that was the spirit in which Prabhupada was always, he taught us by his personal lifestyle. But you have to understand that behind it there is a great consciousness. When you try to do what Prabhupada is doing without that consciousness behind it, that is called imitation. That's called imitation. When there is that Krishna consciousness behind, he sees simply as a servant and the master is doing. I am just order carrier. In so many different ways, this is established in Bhagavad Gita philosophically also. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. We have to resign ourselves to the Lord's will. At the same time, we cannot not be active. This is a trick. Don't be fruity doesn't mean you cannot be active. You have to be as active as a fruity worker. How karmis are working so hard, as hard as the karmis work, but for Krishna. And that for Krishna, we have to go on purifying it. No doubt. This philosophy itself says it's mixed devotion service, slowly purifies. And purification means to more and more one chants on directly associated with Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding all these things. Once other service becomes purified, with the right consciousness, one will execute one's duty. So it is such a big challenge. Sometimes devotees think that devotion service means before I die, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Nothing. You don't have to do anything. You should tell before I die, I don't have to do anything. I only have to become a servant, day to day carry out order, that's all. That doing, how to connect and how to make my different doings into something which world will see or which other devotees will see, that is not my business. That is his business, master's business. What should be done, what should be achieved is master's business. So in this way the devotee becomes very simple. At the same time he is full of energy, continuously engaged in the service of the Lord. Does not spare anything in the service of the Lord. So it is such a big challenge to work like the fruity workers without being fruity. Any question?
Hare Krishna, whatever point you said in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning Arjuna doesn't want it to work. He wanted to escape from his duty. After he became Krishna conscious, the same Arjuna gone to other extreme in full-fledged way to fight. In our case also, it is not again 0 or 1.
Mixed.
So how to ensure that more and more we are going towards Krishna conscious, at the same time with the Krishna conscious we are executing full-fledged our service to Guru and Krishna.
You see, there are two things. When say morning sadhana, for the material body it is unconstitutional. You are not born for sadhana, you are born for enjoying. The yantra is meant for enjoying. But the tendency to work, is something that is tendency of the body and the mind, according to the gunas. So it is. So you separate two kinds of devotion service. One kind of devotion service is actually the soul is touching the Lord directly, and there is austerity of the mind and the body. Okay. And then other kind of devotion service where your mind body is fully cooperating because the bija is there of karma. Fully cooperating, you want to do this, that, this, control and bring everything, manage this thing, all so many things and funds and spend money and build this thing, that, so many things. Oh, move material energy left, right, center, bring under control. This is everybody's tendency of the yantra. This everybody likes. There is no tapasya in this. Okay. Now, there are two things. There is a neophyte devotee, then as a devotee advances. An advanced devotee, like pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, is also build temple, double book distribution, you double and come back. Prabhupada says again, double it again. They double and come and Prabhupada says again, double it, he says. How will it go on like this? Double and double and double. So when Prabhupada says that, he's also in this, externally, he's passionate about serving the Lord. When we are passionate in the beginning stage, that's why when neophyte, when we are not purified, when we have not started associating with Krishna Nama and all these things and not developed taste for that higher taste, higher dependence, that is what real progress is. One does not understand that. What is my real self-progress? If he does not understand that, then there is a danger that this service that we do creates weeds which will choke our bhakti. So, the answer to your question is, if we increase the quality of our sadhana, then the quality of this, the service that we do from 10 a.m. onwards, the quality of that service will increase. As it is the quality of service of morning sadhana, chanting 16 rounds, the quality, even if your mind is here and there also, if you finish 16 rounds, that's a much higher quality than every other service that you do after 10 o'clock. For a starter. No doubt, at a particular stage, when one is associating with the Lord, one associates with the holy name, one gets purified, becomes free from all sins, then there is no difference between, that is what here he's saying, cleansed properly by carrying out my command. We become purified, and our chanting is also, morning sadhana is also direct association with Krishna. Our serving is also direct association with Krishna for Krishna's fruits. Our heart has become empty of all fruits. Fruits for me, that's gone, because fruits for me means it is another virtual I. False egos are all virtual eyes. It is not real I, virtual eyes. False egos, self-created eyes. So you are serving somebody else. You are not serving yourself. If I had to serve myself, I had to serve my position as a servant of Krishna. I had to support and I had to serve that. So that is a so while doing so many services, we have to concentrate and understand the importance of morning sadhana, reading, quality of all these things. Otherwise, what is it? We can say everything, okay, very good. Ultimately the goal is to preach Krishna consciousness. You have to be compassionate to the world. How much time is being spent from morning 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock, chanting, Tulsi Puja, this Puja, all those things. We have to go into a preaching mood. Preaching is most important. So let us reduce the sadhana to just half an hour, and let's all work more for preaching. 5-6 hours gaining is not a small thing. But those 5-6 hours, if you stop that, you will mess up the rest of the 24 hours also, whatever is left. One does not understand the value of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, value of sadhana. It is a luxury for the soul. In the material world, if we have got an opportunity not to be disturbed by any matters till 10 o'clock, from morning till 10 o'clock, it's a super luxury. Nobody will get that. Only when you miss it, you will realize that. When you miss it, you will realize that. That was a luxury. You will develop value for something when you miss it. First you get it and then you miss it. Then you will develop value for it. What a luxury it is. Because it's a luxury because the force of material struggle for existence will not allow you to do that. Will not allow you to do that. Here you get up in the morning, take bath, everything very nice, and come, Manglarti, everything, then chant, everything, nobody is asking. 10 o'clock, go and sit, Mahaprasade, prasadam is ready. Evening, prasadam is ready. Everything is there. Lord is so kind. So we should not, we have to, when somebody misuses this, undervalues this, slowly he will lose that. He misuses, undervalues the Vaishnava association, he will miss that, he will lose that. He will lose that luxury. That means he will go into Maya. He will leave the temple. Granjaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.